And there's something I want to point out to my girls, you know what I mean? You're going to be in a relationship and you're going to be married longer than you're going to be single. Think about that. All right, you guys, so welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be doing a new series called Makeup Therapy. And I'm sure you guys have seen Makeup Therapy on YouTube for a long time now, but I wanted to do a different take on it. So this series, Makeup Therapy, we're going to be doing different topics and just, trying new makeup looks as well. You guys know I am super neutral, basic, okay, when it comes to like my makeup looks, but for every video I'm gonna do a completely different makeup look. I love how this one turned out. It is so silvery and pretty, and we're also going to be covering different topics as well. Okay, the first one is on breakups and how to heal, be in your grown woman era, and just really like heal and move on. Okay, I've been there where you guys have been, and it's not an easy process, but I want to give you guys some tips that are actually helpful that will honestly change your life, and I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on it. Okay, but before we get into it, make sure you go ahead and hit the like, subscribe button, and now let's get into the video. All right, y'all, so welcome to episode 1 of Makeup Therapy. I am so excited to talk to you guys about breakups and how to truly heal in your grown woman era, okay? Because I swear back in the day, y'all, there's a lot of people that try to give us advice and tips, and a lot of them are meant to speed us through the process, right? But anything worth having or, something worth of substance takes time. You can't speed through it. You can't get through it fast. You just got to ride the wave. So I want to talk to you guys about how I personally go through it to truly heal and, be a better version of myself. So for today, I am so excited because we're going to be doing a makeup look, which I'll put here for you guys. And this video or these type of videos moving forward are also to challenge me, to do like more creative looks. You guys know, like, I'm pretty boring nowadays. Like, I just put brown in the crease and call it a day. But for these videos, we're going to do a different look every single time that are super creative and different. And I'm just ready to get, back to myself when it comes to makeup. Okay. So I do want to point out when it comes to these videos, we're not going to really focus on the makeup products and what I'm using. I will mention them here and there, but everything will be listed down below for you guys. Okay. I promise. All right. So I am ready to get into this topic for you guys. Actually, let me color correct because I haven't color corrected yet. But when it comes to breakups, y'all, I have been through them and they are not easy. Okay. You think, okay, maybe, you've been talking to the person for like 3 months, and if you break up, it's not going to hit as hard. Girl, if I tell you guys, honestly, I literally have probably cried harder for somebody that I only talked to for a couple of months than somebody that I've dated for years. And it's so crazy. It doesn't make sense. But regardless, it doesn't get easy, you guys. It doesn't matter what stage you're in. And I have been through the ringer, but I will say I have tried all the methods out there when it comes to getting over a breakup, right? Like getting somebody new or just going out and partying in my younger days. And I just realized a lot of those methods didn't help me like at all. Because for the moment, yeah, you do feel a little bit better, but like, baby, I'm still sad. I'm still stalking, my ex's page. Like, why are we doing that if we're healed, right? Okay. So that's why I want to go ahead and share with you guys what I actually do to get over a breakup, and the healthy way, the good way, the best ways. Okay. Yeah. So first things first, you have to break that soul tie. A lot of people say like soul ties aren't real. You can, just move on and you shouldn't have a soul tie. Baby, let me tell you about soul ties. Okay. There's different levels to it, but for me personally, with one relationship that I was in, we literally had such a big soul tie where like even when we were done, I wasn't talking to him. It had been like a month and a half at that point, right? But y'all, I would literally have dreams, and they were very vivid dreams where like I knew, it's so weird, I knew what he was doing. Like it's the weirdest thing. And I would at that point check his page and it would kind of like confirm certain things. Anyways, but when that person had moved on and got somebody new, like I had been stopped looking at their pages at that point. And I had a very vivid dream of a trip that they were on. The scenery, I don't want to be too specific because some people like that watch my video, know who I am in my personal life. So I don't want to like pinpoint who I'm talking about. That makes sense. But there was a scenery where I had dreamed about this individual being at, and I also had a dream about like the girl that I saw in that dream as well. So anyways, it was very vivid. I'm like, that's super weird. Like, and I don't dream, you guys. Like, I don't dream. I want to be like those cool people that have a cool dream every day, but I literally just go to sleep and wake up because I don't know, I just don't be dreaming. But sometimes I will have very vivid dreams, and I take them into consideration because I'm like, this doesn't happen too often, you know, whatever. Anyways, with this dream, I had a friend call me a couple days later like, hey girl, did you see so and so post this, you know, whatever. I'm like, girl, I don't keep up with them anymore. Like, I'm moving on. Like, let's just get over this, right? She's like, no, like, this is where they were. This is the girl that he was with. And I was like, girl, tell me why I had a dream. And that scenario was exactly what I dreamed. The girl, the hair color she had, her skin tone, the scenery, like, it was so crazy to me. And that's when I knew, I said, God, I gotta break this soul tie because I want to move on, like, truly move on. And this was somebody that, you know, we've all been there where you break up and get back together, break up and get back together. Like, no, I'm really done this time. So anyways, I had to literally, I remember it was one random night because I hadn't been eating, haven't been sleeping well. I'm like, God, I can't live my life like this. Like, I'm trying to make it seem like everything is okay, and I'm fine, but I'm not. Like, I'm going through it, right? So at night, I got on my knees and I prayed to God, like, God, break the soul tie. Like, I prayed a very deep prayer, like crying and everything. And literally when I was done, you guys, I felt like a release. Like, I could breathe again. I felt myself again. Like, it was such a release. I'm like, wow, I needed that. And if it wasn't for God, like, I felt like I was going to be miserable, right? Because the thing about it is with breakups, like, in the daytime, you're fine because you're moving around, you got a lot of things to do. But at night, it will hit me the most because you're by yourself, it's quiet. It just sucks, to be honest. And so that's when I had that prayer. I'm like, God, I'm not going through this again. I don't like feeling like this. And when I made and did that prayer, you know what I mean? It just broke that soul tie. And I literally felt like a release. So I don't know, you know, where everybody is with like their religion and spiritual things like that. So I want to be respectful. But of course, if you guys do believe in God, I do believe in praying it away, because sometimes, you know, that person is not good for you and your heart is always going to long for them. And you're also going to always care for them, but not, the longer time goes, it's not going to be as strong. You know what I mean? You're going to care about that person because that's somebody you talk to, but it's not going to be as strong. So you might as well go ahead and just pray for that release. And with that soul tie being broken, it's like you're going to be able to forgive them and move on and genuinely be happy for them. Like, literally, I'm the type of person, y'all, like, there's no jealousy in my heart. Like, literally, if you get somebody new, I'm like, you know what? I'm happy for you, like, move on, because clearly we're not working and we can't just be single just because we're not working together. You know what I mean? But that's something that really, really helped me. So let me bronze. I'm going to use my NARS Laguna bronzer in the shade number 4. The next tip I want to help you guys when it comes to truly getting over breakup and healing is therapy. I know some people are like, Lord, like, why do I need therapy? Things like that. I am telling you, I used to be that person too. Like, I never used to go to therapy. I just felt like I can deal with it on my own. But sometimes, y'all, these breakups are just so strong to the point where it's like you need somebody, like an outside force, to really help you. And so with that being said, I remember the day that I knew I was done. I woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to therapy. I'm gonna talk to somebody. I need to get this out. And with therapy, when I tell you guys, he clocked me so hard. I was like, you're right. Everything he was saying, I'm like, you're correct. And I had never in my life truly like released what I've been through. And that is a whole nother topic in itself. I do one day want to like film a video on like what, like my story, like what I've been through, but it's so like, it's so touchy, and it's just like, it's very personal, and it's very I don't know, it's a lot, and I've never went that far with it. But with him, I did. I told him everything I've been through, and he was flabbergasted. And it was kind of crazy because when you start speaking out loud what you've been through, right? You can't even believe you're saying these things. Like, I thought in my head, not that it was normal, but I've been so used to it that I was like, okay, like, maybe this is what it is, right? But no, when I was saying it out loud to him, I realized that I had been through the ringer, you know, with my relationships. And so it was nice because at the end of it, and he really clocked me with this in a good way, of course, he was like, everything you told me, right? He was like, you have a little sister, right? I'm like, yeah. He was like, everything you've been through, would you want her to go through it? And I said, absolutely not. He was like, so why are you going through it? And I said, you right. And that's when I knew, like, I was done. Like, I was done. I had for years always, like, kept things to myself. Never told nobody. Some people don't even know half the things, like, I've been through. And, you know, I don't care to even, like, prove myself or tell my side. I just don't care, y'all, because I'm doing it for me, right? But that's why I'm trying to do these videos for you guys, to really connect on a deeper level, because, like, we're women and we go through things, and that we all have our different stories out there of things we've been through, and it's scary and it's terrifying, but, you know, we've been through it. Like, this is our lives, and how you move on from that and your story, I know it can help somebody. So anyways, the moment he told me that, I was like, okay, well, now I know what I need to do. And he would check up on me, y'all. He would make sure I was okay. And this was back when, like, I really didn't have money like that. So, like, the therapy sessions honestly weren't that expensive. I think it was like $100. So he knew, like, I couldn't come in all the time, but he will still, like, message me, send me videos. And I remember he even sent me a song, I can't remember the name of it, where it said, like, no more tears. I was, like, crying. I was sobbing. I'm like, no more tears. Like, he really, like, knows I'm, like, done and I'm moving on, and, like, it's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? But that was really nice. Therapy is something I recommend. If you've never done it, try it out. It's just about finding who fits with you and who you can trust, pretty much. Now, this next tip, you guys, is not the easiest, but it's something you gotta do, all right? It is no contact. And what I mean by that is no texting, no calling, no hanging out, no creeping even. Like, when I say no contact, it's like you don't see, you don't hear them, like nothing. And I know some people are, like, in different situations. If you know exactly what I'm talking about, like, some people are in situations where, like, they have to check on that person to make sure they're okay, to make sure they don't do something they're not supposed to do, if you catch my drift. That is completely different. But I mean, if y'all just strictly broke up and y'all are both, like, handling the situation the best you can, no contact is the best way. And I know some people want to be friends with their ex, but the thing about it is you're always going to find your way back to them, whether it's like you run into them or you see them post something and you just say, like, hey, like, congratulations. You're going to always somehow talk to them after a breakup. It's never, like, a done deal. You know what I mean? Typically. So you got to look at a no contact rule as, like, okay, this is something I need to do in the beginning to get over this person, right? Because, like, anything out there when it comes to, like, you know, for me, I love desserts, okay? There's a lot of things that I love that aren't necessarily the best for me, but the longer you go without that, then it gets a little bit easier as time goes on. Like, time really does heal everything. It just takes a little bit longer than we want sometimes, right? Okay. Now, with that being said, to do no contact, you guys, literally what helped me, I don't know, it was a little bit toxic, but I would have to unfriend them. I would have to, you know, delete their phone number, because I never memorize any of, like, the people I talk to. Like, I never memorize, like, anybody's phone number, because I don't want to, like, remember it off my dome. Like, if it's gone, it's gone. I don't know your phone number at all, right? And then, yeah, so whatever you can do. I even tell friends, like, Do not tell me what is going on in their life. And they're going to mess up with that because people love tea. And if something juicy is going on, they're going to want to tell you, right? But I had to like stop a lot of people I knew from telling me things, from giving me updates. I just went cold turkey. And that's just how I am. And that's how I operate. And so what makes that process a little bit easier is kind of creating like a little contest. Is that the word I'm looking for? Like a little game per se. So what I mean by that is on my calendar, I would X out every single day that I went without, no contact. No checking their social media, no texting, no calling, no updates from friends. And I would be like, okay, at the end of the week, I'll treat myself to this, item, or take myself out to eat, or whatever it is that I want to treat myself with. And then before you know it, you guys, it is like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And the thing about women, oh, baby, if you give us time, we're done. We moved on. But at that point that we're moving on, these men are just realizing like, oh, I actually miss her. I actually care about her. Like all these things, right? But we've done the work early on. So it's a little bit easier for us later on, if that makes sense. So yeah, no contact. Like I told you guys, it is not easy. It is not easy. It's hard. You're sitting there crying and throwing up. Okay. Trust me. I know, baby. I know, because I've been through it, but you got to do what you got to do. And I think making it into a little game, as crazy as that seems, it works, because when you realize, okay, I went 1 week, I went 2 weeks, I went 3 weeks without talking to this individual, and you give yourself like little treats at the end of those like times, you're like, you feel strong, you feel like you can do anything, and it's the best feeling in the whole entire world. So I thought I was recording, you guys, so I really apologize, but we're gonna move on to the eyes. I already kind of started a little bit because I thought we were recording, but anyway, so I'm gonna be using the Fairy Tale Storybook Cosmetics, and I'm gonna use the shade Quiver actually. The top right shade is like a very beautiful brown yellow shade. But the next tip I do have for you guys is to listen to relationship podcasts out there. All right. There are so many out there where it's kind of a little bit stressful to figure out like, okay, which one resonates with me more? Which person do I trust? All of that. And it took some time because let me be honest, some of these relationship podcasts out here are very toxic. Okay. So you got to make sure that you're taking your time and you're actually like finding people that what they're saying matches their lifestyle, because a lot of people aren't about that. And it's very apparent, when you watch the videos, who like what they're saying, y'all just don't make no sense. Okay. I just be like, you're just doing these videos just to do these videos because they're popping. All right. But when you find the people that you resonate with, it's just like, it's like hallelujah moment, literally. So some of my favorite people are Stefan Speaks. He is so good, you guys. I love his videos because he comes from more so like a biblical standpoint. He brings like God into it. And so like a lot of things he says like resonates with me. And it's funny because I do have 3 brothers. And with them, I like run by them like a lot of things that I'm watching on YouTube and seeing like, does it resonate with them? Like, can they relate? Because they're guys and they'll let me know like, yeah, girl, we be doing this. This is how we think. I'm like, okay, so all right, nice to know. But Stefan Speaks is so good and he has a lot of great topics and he posts pretty much daily. So if you're in a car ride or you're working remotely or you're on a walk or something, like I love listening to podcasts because it's just nice to hear different perspectives. And it's funny enough because I love watching a lot of the men more so than the women, because the men, like, they're telling us from a man's point of view, and it's very important to listen to that. Like, we can't be like, oh my gosh, no, what they're saying is not correct. Like, it is. They're a man and they can tell us better than we can tell them. Okay, so I really love him. So now I'm gonna take this grayish shadow right here from Makeup Geek and put this in my crease. But another person I do want to mention that's really good is Tony Gaskins. He is hilarious to me. Like, I don't know what it is. He's like unhinged, but in a funny way. Like, he's gonna tell you how it is. He don't be caring, y'all. Like, and I love that. Like, I love it. Like, he'll call us out, who'll clock us. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you are right. Women, we need to do better sometimes. Like, we need to do better. So it's just really nice hearing from him too. And he's married, he has kids. So I like his perspective. So yeah, it's just about finding who works for you and making sure that you're fueling your mind with these information 24/7. Like, there's so many times during breakups that I wanted to go back, that I wanted to reach out, that I thought certain things, and then you watch these videos and they're like, no, like, during this time, during no contact, this is probably what he's going through, and this is how you need to maneuver moving forward. Like, it's just so many helpful tips that helped me during that time. And I was like, you know what? Yes, like, yes. And so the more I listened to it, the stronger I felt, the better I felt. And I felt like my mind was completely renewed. And also these podcasts, I do want to point out, like, a lot of times with these breakups, it's not always the men's fault. I want to be very transparent with that. Sometimes it is our doing, right? Whether we caused it or we ended it or something on our end, regardless, it's not going to be the same for everybody when it comes to the healing process, especially if you're the one initiating it sometimes. But regardless, it's not an easy process. So that's why I was like, you know what? I've been the person to initiate a breakup, and I've also been the one to receive it, and it's not easy, like, at all. And I feel like me as a person now, like, when I do get in a relationship moving forward, I am like ready. Okay, I've learned what I need to change, and I've learned what I shouldn't tolerate at the same time. So with the look, she kind of used like a chunky glitter, and all I have close to that color is the LA Color Stellar Palette. This chunky silver shade, but honey, she a little dried out. Okay, she a little dried out. So I don't know how we're gonna do this, but we're gonna figure it out. Okay, so let me apply this on the eyes. I'm scared that it may get all over my lashes. Ooh, oh, she's sparkly. Okay. Yeah, and she kind of has it like all over the lids. I'm just gonna do the same exact thing, just make it really blown out, really sparkly. This is so stunning, y'all. Like, I'm really shook. All right, okay, LA Colors. All right. But if you guys have any other people that you guys watch on YouTube when it comes to relationship podcasts, let your girl know down below, because I always want to find more people, and there's so many people that I watch. It's not just those two, but those are the two that stand out to me because I pretty much watch them every single day. Okay. But yeah, let me know down below, because I'm really interested in learning about some more people on YouTube. So for this next part of the eyes, I can't really talk because I have to apply eyeliner in the inner and upper portion of my eyes, and then also like a little cat eye too as well. I can't believe I just did that so easily. Like, oh, now I messed it up. Okay, all right. So I had to clean up a little bit, but y'all can see, like, we got a little wing going on. I haven't done a wing in ages. Oh my goodness, y'all. This is so nostalgic for me. All right, so let me go ahead and do the other eye, and then we'll move on to the next tip. So let me go ahead and bronze my face. And the next tip, okay, that I do have for you guys is affirmations and faking it till you make it. One thing about breakups that I love is being a girl, okay? Because we can show you better than we can tell you. And what I mean by faking it till you make it is faking feeling happy. Because right now you feel sad. You feel like there's no way through this. You feel like this is probably the hardest thing that you've been through, right? But at the same time, like, you got to put on a face and at least show up for yourself, right? So some days I woke up and I was like, okay, I don't want to put makeup on. I don't want to hang out with my friends. I don't want to go outside. Because literally, you guys, I would go out and do all these things and like just start crying, right? I'd rather be inside and just be sad and whatnot. But you got to show up every day for yourself. Fake it till you make it. Because when you start waking up every day and you're like, okay, I'm that girl, I'm that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that whatever. You're going to start feeling like that every single day. But if you wake up like, I'm sad, I can't do this, I can't go through this, you're going to have those thoughts here and there, but you have to force yourself to counteract that every single time those thoughts come in your head, right? And so also faking it till you make it is like, y'all, literally, you got to do what you got to do in these situations. So I obviously like post pictures on Instagram and whatnot. I would literally post pictures just to make myself feel good. Because the thing about it, and I love being a girl, is all the girls are gonna comment like, oh my god, you look so pretty, you look this, you look that. And that would literally give me life. A lot of people didn't even know that they were helping me during that time, because I felt so less than, you know what I'm saying? Like after my breakup, I was like, I don't feel beautiful, I don't feel like a lot of things. But when you see people say like, oh my gosh, Chichi, like you look like you have that glow, like you have a glow on you, I'm like, me have a glow? Girl, what are you talking about? And like, they don't know I'm sad, but like hearing those things like literally made me so happy. I'm not like trying to have people validate me, like that's not what I'm saying. But at this moment, y'all, we gotta do what we gotta do. And so whether it's posting or just showing up for yourself, that is something I really, really, recommend. So let me set my face really quickly with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, because I look a little bit too powdery. And then also, I did also mention to you guys affirmations. That is so important, because there were nights that I couldn't sleep, that I literally was like, I don't feel pretty. I feel less than. I feel whatever it was, y'all. Like, you know how we are. We're so hard on ourselves. And so, like, I remember one night I was so miserable. I was like, okay, I can't keep thinking this thoughts about myself. Like, I'm more than this, right? So I literally went on YouTube and I looked up different videos pertaining to affirmations. Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to put some silver underneath the eyes. Let me do that real quick and then I'll talk to y'all. And boom, just like that, y'all, the eyes, she's a silver girl. Okay, I love how this turned out. Okay, so now finishing off what I was saying to you guys, I'm gonna apply some blush first. Using Armani Beauty blush in the shade number 30. Affirmations, I literally had to one night go on YouTube and just like search for affirmations. Like I repeated them with tears in my eyes. Like literally, y'all, like these things I'm saying, it is so crazy to think back to that time. Because like the woman that I am now, oh baby, like I would never speak half the things I was saying to myself back then, right? But it does take time to get here. So literally I had to keep repeating, I am beautiful, I am this, I am worthy, I am strong, I'm courageous. Whatever it is, I kept saying it with tears in my eyes, y'all. Like I know what you're going through. And the more I said it, the easier it got, right? So I just really recommend that. There's so many good ones on YouTube. Find the one that works for you, but it's something I truly recommend. And then the last one that we do have, it's so crazy that we're already done. I've had so much fun with this, you guys. Seriously, just talking to you guys and like just doing my makeup and challenging myself, I feel so like, ooh, I don't want to get emotional. This reminds me of like back in the day. Like, I don't know, it's so nostalgic. Let me stop crying. Like I literally feel like I am the biggest crybaby lately. I get teary-eyed over everything. Let me just stop. Anyways, the last tip that I do have for you guys is honestly rediscovering who you are during your singleness and dating yourself. Because back in the day, like, you know, when we're younger, we used to see everybody go on dates and we're like, I wish that was me. I wish I had a man taking me out to dinner. Like I wish, right? That's just how we were. But over time, it came to me that like, okay, and it's really popular now compared to before, you can solo date, you can solo travel, you can do things without a man. Back then, it didn't register to me like, oh, like I can be without a man and, you know, still be fine. Everything that I was craving for back then was like, I need a man to go pumpkin picking with me. I need a man to go on a trip with. I need a man to take me out on a date. Baby, like you can do that yourself. Rediscover who you are, what you like without that person. A lot of times when we're with somebody, we just kind of fuse into them. Like what they like, you like. What you like, they like. And then when they're gone, you're like, wait, what do I even like to do by myself? Like you're almost so confused, like who am I without this person? And so I really had to discover who I was And I discovered so many things about myself. I discovered my love of traveling. I discovered my love of being alone, which is so crazy. I love being by myself. Like, I love it a little too much. But yeah, I love being by myself. I love going on dinner dates with myself. I love treating myself. I love me. Like, I love me. I didn't love me before. I didn't. And so learning about like who CHICHI is, what she likes, all of that, it's the best feeling. And you need to learn about who you are, what makes you you, what makes you unique, what are the things you want to do in life. And there's something I want to point out to my girls, you know what I mean? You're going to be in a relationship and you're going to be married longer than you're going to be single. Think about that. And that is so crazy because it's like our single years, once you have kids, once you're married, baby, that's it. Like, that's it. And that time that you've had to yourself to be selfish and do what you want. Like, I'm not in a relationship right now, honey. I don't have to cook for nobody. I do what I want to do when I want to do. But I want a man. Like, I do want a man. I do want a relationship and a husband, all of that, right? But that will come in its own time. I don't stress that anymore. But I am being so selfish. Like, nobody's telling me what to do, where I can go, how to dress. Like, that is so freeing to think about that, because one day I'm going to be in a relationship, married, with 5 kids, running around, driving me crazy, right? And I could have been like, oh my gosh, CHICHI, like when you were single, when it was quiet, like I don't have anybody running around stressing me out. Like, I get to do what I want to do, and that is so freeing. And trust me, when you understand all of that, you're going to look at it at a different view, okay? It's going to make a little bit more sense moving forward. So last but not least is the lips. I'm going to use my Beauty by CHICHI Allure lip liner from my brand, okay? And for the lips, I'm going to use a Sephora lipstick in the shade 22, and it's called, I don't know the name on it because I don't have it on here, but I'll put it down below for you guys. All right, you guys, so this is a completed look. I love how everything turned out, and I really loved just connecting with you guys on a deeper level. I just feel so happy and fulfilled right now, and I just can't stop smiling. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and also let me know down below any topics you guys want me to cover. All right, so what that means is like literally anything you could think of when it comes to girl topics or any topics in general. There's nothing off limits, honestly. Let me know down below so I can get to planning. All right, but I love you guys so much. Let me know if this video helps you in any way, and yeah, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.